All these things doesn't matter who cooks or who doesn't cook. It's not like a mantra that she's the one that has to cook. It wasn't an issue. Most of the time we eat out. We don't cook. We normally eat out. It's not that my wife doesn't know how to cook. It's not that I don't know how to cook, because most of the time she's working. I have to take care of the kids. I have to take care of the house and make sure that the kids are well fed. Either I cook or they help cooks.
You know, overall ideology of this thing is that we make it about the cooking, but in the actual sense of it, you are feeding your children. So whether you go to buy the food, whether you prepare it, make sure that the children are well fed. I think is a win-win for everybody.
My name is Mr. Okoye Chukwebuka.
Yeah, my name is Cynthia Okoye.
It's quite catchy, right? But it all started when I came back to Nigeria, December 2016, precisely. So I was able to do a reunion for my set, St. Charles Secondary School, 2006 set. I was able to meet all my guys, including her other brother. He was close to me when we were in secondary school. So from there, we built a rapport. He helped me out in a lot of my project I was handling at that time. Then we were opportuned to visit her village during the Christmas period. I saw her briefly, but we didn't have any interaction. But along the line, my mom kept pestering me that I should consider settling down. I was objective at first, but along the line, I was like, okay, I don't want to get married. I'm still young. I'm still 26, 27. So why am I rushing to get married? Well, along the line, we started talking about it frequently. She brought some people along. I didn't have any rapport with them. So end of the day, one of these days we were drinking, having a night out. When my engineer was telling me that there is one of Ifeanyi's sister, she's a photographer, or she's a music, this and that. He felt that I should go and see her. But I was hesitant at first. But along the line, I spoke with my guy. I want to see your sister. Will it be possible? At first, he didn't accept, but along the line, he said, okay, it's not my choice to make. Then we called her. We are coming to Oka. She asked us to meet her at Dominion Pizza. We went there. We sat down. We talked for a while. She told me straightforward that she's in a relationship, that she doesn't have anything to do with people that stays abroad. So we had a little, like, her views of life and my views were making sense. She's enlightened. She has her goals. She had a lot of things going on for her. I picked interest. But I pleaded with her. I said, okay, I'll be going back. Please, I want you to do me a favor. If I call you, can you answer? She said, no problem. She will answer the call. So I went back to my base. From there, we started talking more frequently. Before you know it, it developed to something beautiful. I went back in March. Her birthday was in June 10. I flew back for her birthday. Along the line, in her birthday, I proposed. And then that is how our journey started. It's been 8 years of beautiful relationship, marriage with 4 kids. So that's just the story.
Wonderful.
For me, at that point in time, I don't look at economical value. It was more of what drives you as a person. Do you understand? When you meet a lot of girls, she was, I think, 22, 23. She had a lot of things going on in her life. Do you get? Like, when she talk about photography, you see the passion. She genuinely loved it. It's something that she devoted her time for years to build. And then she's studying it. She was studying theater and arts and film studies. So it's not about being a photographer. It was something that she was studying and dedicating herself. So for me, I see that it's something that drives her. And what you said, man, was part of our conversation. Some guys came along in our life. They told her that if she got married, she would stop photography. That didn't see. But for me, it was never about the economical stuff. It's about something someone loves. Do you understand? So you don't put it. You don't when you love something, you don't put your money on it or how much that thing cost when we make or something like that. Yeah, if something drives you as a passion, you have to encourage that. So that is it for me.
Okay. Basically, I think for me, I growing up, I was a girl that I've always envisioned what my life should look like. I try to plan some things. I have my stuff, going for me, and I'm a career-oriented person. I like to do what I want to do. I like to fend for myself, provide as at that point in my life and even now. But basically, I felt I knew what I wanted. So when he came along, and with the fact that he was living abroad, it was a total turn off. I encourage long distance relationship, but I don't encourage long distance marriage. So it was not part of the thing I've ever envisioned for myself. I don't want a situation whereby I'm here and my husband is somewhere else, and it was not a workable marriage situationship for me. So I told him point blank, I don't like to waste people's time. Even as a young girl, I had quite a few relationships. I don't waste people's time. I'm always honest. Sometimes I'm too brutal with my honesty, but it's in a bit to save you time and save myself time, because as at that point in my life, time was one of the things that I was trying to navigate, as much as I can. So I told him point blank that it was not a venture I want to go with anyone, but we got to know each other better, and somehow along the line, our thoughts and desires aligned. He came back to Nigeria, stayed here ever since, and I think he's working for us.
If I'm being truthful, when I considered marriage, it didn't even occur to me that I want to settle down. In honesty, I was in my prime as a young guy doing well. I can come back to Nigeria as many times as I can. I can live a particular type of life that I want. But I think what struck me to think about marriage was all about when my mom started being pushy. Then I begin to ask myself a lot of questions. Like, I would like to say something. I mirror my life most of the time with my dad, because he ended up shouldering a lot of responsibility, and then he got married at a very late age, at the late 30s, 38 years precisely. Then when I was growing up, he told me something on his sick bed. He said, no matter how much you hustle in life, when you get to 30, try to settle down. Do you understand? So that time, when I was considering getting married, I was 27 years. So I was like, what is different from 27 to 30? Then I'm financially buoyant. Why won't I think about settling down? So that was the turning point of my life. I realized that I have to consider it thoughtfully, try to see someone that my visions align, family orientation, and a lot of things. And when I met the person, it wasn't difficult. It became an easy decision. I was genuinely happy about that.
It was quite a challenge, because I had more of male friends with my work too. I had a lot of male colleagues. So getting married, living by the society standard means cutting off almost all of that, and I couldn't have it because it's somehow intertwined with my work and the relationship I've built over years. But I didn't cut off my male friends. We kind of navigated through it. But again, it's also good to set boundaries. In marriage, you have to set boundaries no matter what, be it family, be it friends. So the boundary was there, but I didn't cut anyone off, um, because they are part of my life, and they're part of my work as well. I understand the challenge, and my husband was also understanding. I think it takes a lot of trust to understand that, okay, this is my wife and this is who she is, and having, as male friend might not is not a challenge or a threat for him. And he understands that because not because he trusts them, not because he likes them or trusts them, but because he trusts me, and he knows that there's nothing there, just whatever it is that meets the eye, the business or whatever we have to, do to. Nothing really going on with all those guys. So, we kind of found the balance around it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Uh, See, this is one of the trendy topics, or maybe ideology of a lot of people flying around. But for me, the beauty of asking someone to spend the rest of their life with you supersede whatever other people felt about culture. Me, definitely, it was a very simple engagement. Uh, I gathered a few of our friends. They set up the room. She wasn't around. They ushered her in. I knelt down and I proposed to my wife. It was something I'm definitely proud of. Do you understand? Because for you to ask someone to spend the rest of their life with you, it has to go with some kind of gestures that you know can be touched, for the person to know the extent you're willing to go for that particular person. So for me, that is the beauty of kneeling down or doing anything. It's left for you as a man to decide how you want to show the gesture to that person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. So that's just the fact, yeah.
But it's not in the culture of.
That's what I'm saying. When you look at it in cultural ways, there is no standard about asking someone to get married. There is no rule. It's all about speculation. It's not culture. It's not culture.
But if you talk about culture, there are a lot of things that are not in our culture that
We
do today.
do. That's
And
the fact.
you can as well go to somebody's house and go straight and meet their father,
Father,
and talk with their father.
and
Say, I want to marry your daughter." So it's like carry your bag and follow me.
That was just the only.
I think the societal ideology of what should be, with time, we have come to evolve in a lot of ways, and is no longer sticking strictly to what is obtainable or what is currently trendy, but a blend of what we used to have and what we have now. So there is a consent from the family is still there as
Definitely, you will seek their consent. That's the most.
But again, you can go all the way out to prove beyond reasonable doubt that this is what you want to do.
No, for
it
me,
doesn't mean that every man should do that.
Yes,
if you don't want to do it, I think
me.
It's for you.
It's a decision.
And again, sometimes I used to say, people have ideologies of the kind of marriage, the kind of family they want to start. So it's just about that.
Your personal decision.
If you're the kind of man that want to be the Lord and finisher of your faith, of course, as His Royal Majesty, you are there and they are there. Do you understand? Yeah. There are things you can do, but if you want a marriage that gives you
whatever you desire, whatever you envisage,
I think there are things you should do to solidify. Just
for me, just kneeling down, proposing, how you do it, how you do the setting. The beauty of it is that you made a decision to show the person you want to spend the rest of their life with how far you're willing to go. For me, that's just the beauty of it. Any other thing, you look at society standard, society approval, cultural this thing is a decision you want to take for yourself if you want to lean towards that angle. But for me, I did it because I felt that I want to show my wife a gesture, how far I'm willing to go for her. That's just it.
Thank you. That's beautiful.
I would like to say something for the context of the question, and then for the people that are watching, maybe newly people that got married or people that are aspiring to get married. All these things doesn't matter who cooks or who doesn't cook. Most of my years in abroad, I live alone. I fend for myself. I cook for myself. In the beginning of our marriage, it wasn't an issue. Most of the time, we eat out. Before we started having kids, we don't cook. We normally eat out. It's not that my wife doesn't know how to cook. It's not that I don't know how to cook. But when the kids start coming, there is need to cook for everybody. Do you understand? So she doesn't cook all the time. It's not like a mantra that she's the one that has to cook. No. We have people someone that comes around, help navigate the things in the house, because most of the time she's working. Sometimes she's outside working. She travels for her work. I have to take care of the kids. I have to take care of the house and make sure that the kids are well fed. Either I cook or the help cooks. So in our marriage, there is no mantra who cooks or who doesn't cook. That is how it works for us.
Let's say about that.
I think it's just like he has said, there is the understanding there. A lot of men wouldn't, go into that. My husband is not the best chef, but you see his efforts. I remember one of the time I was not around and I was worried about the children and I was calling and he said, "Don't worry, I'll get them something." I said, "What do you want to cook?" I say, I'll get them Indomie. Do you understand? And sometimes it's not like it's going to cook heaven and earth, but again, I see the gesture and I see the commitment because, overall ideology of this thing is that we make it about the cooking, but in the actual sense of it, you're feeding your children.
Definitely.
So whether you go to buy the food, whether you prepare it, make sure that the children are well fed. I think is a win-win for everybody because we don't want a situation whereby I travel for work and the children are not well taken care of. We have hands that help us to do these things, but sometimes he goes extra mile to make sure that the children are okay, and I feel safer knowing that they are okay. So that's basically it.
I will say having kids is a whole new level. Because when you started the marriage, it was just me and my wife. Then when the kids started coming, 1, 2, 3, 4, sometimes it's overwhelming, to be honest. I will use an example. When my wife had our last baby, there was no help at that point in time. It was a big struggle for us until we come to a consensus that we have to hire someone that has to come and help us. And it took a lot of time for us to adjust, but along the line, it worked. So for me, I would say kids are the game changer. You don't have anything to yourself. They always come first. You put them first. Your personal need, you can, before you buy things like me, I used to buy expensive things for myself. But for the past how many years now, I couldn't remember the last time I bring out a huge amount of money to spend on myself. So I think that is the most shocking thing about marriage for me.
What about you?
Yeah.
I don't know whether I would say my personality is not one to be shocked about things, but I feel that just like you mentioned, the kids are there is overwhelming, but also is a beautiful gift. So I can't even, looking back, now, I can't imagine a life without any of the children. I think they are their own blessing, but I don't think I've been, taken unaware by anything per se. But I think what I would say should be to the core is your ability to blend your family life with work. Okay, so I'm somebody that likes my work, so much. I travel, but when it comes to marriage now, when it comes to my family now, if work is coming, I'm considering how to balance it. Do I travel? Should I be here and should I be there? Because I know that they come first. So I think it's just that kind of blending, family and work is basically the thing that I'll say I'm getting to is a new one for me because initially when we started we could travel together.
Anywhere.
So if I have work, it's not a hard
big
decision.
deal.
So I say I'm going to Abuja, we're traveling together, and we can stay in Abuja 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, and we'll come back. But with the children, you can up and live like that. They have school, they have
their
life going on, so we have to factor that in. So I think that's majorly it.
No, I think in our case, my wife doesn't argue. She doesn't argue. She will just, you rant. She will just listen. She might not say anything in that heated argument. She will just go to bed. You will feel frustrated. So for me, in our own case, I think no one wins. It's all about finding a balance. And the balance might be after 2 days, after the event has happened, 2 days later, we talk about it, but in a casual way. So when you're boiling is not when the case is settled. The case might take 3 days to settle. So just as it. But she will do everything she normally does. Bring food for you, do everything. She will argue. You will run, you will be like, is he not, is she not the person you fought with? But he will be, it will be on autopilot. But along the way, she will just definitely sit down, maybe sit out, go outside, trash the whole thing,
Just
everything.
survive.
Sometimes when people argue, when two people argue, I think there's always a point, and I'm always a believer that you don't have to be, right or wrong to hurt somebody. So I might be doing the right thing in the wrong way, and my husband might feel hurt about it. So when he talks about certain things and when we have our issue, I take my time to listen to it. Like just like to say that I'm not one to react immediately, so he can say something and I'm not agreeing with that thing, and I can't even say immediately that I'm not agreeing with that thing. I take my time, and I will assess it in all ways. Did I do something wrong? Should it have been this way? But I'm feeling what I'm feeling and I'm pissed off. So how do I go about it without lashing out? So I take my time to process this whole thing. Then I find a way to sit down about it and say, okay, this is what I feel is making me angry about the situation. This is what I feel. And when I'm trying to explain it, I'm saying it doesn't mean I'm right. It doesn't mean I'm wrong. But even when you're doing the right thing, you can do it in a way that will piss me off. Do you understand? So, and I have the right to feel what I feel. So I find a way to reach him, tell him what exactly is going on with me, while I also consider what is going on with him. Then we can get to a consensus that okay, that's so when even when we don't say this is point blank wrong, we can say okay, I understand what you're feeling, and he can say I understand what you're feeling, and we'll find a way to move ahead of it and say okay, maybe next time we'll do it this way. I think that's the way we do it.
Regardless of your status, when you get married, there are things that has to be in the open. If it's a consensual marriage that is built on love and trust and understanding, I think that is the basic of it. Like my phone now, my wife fingerprint opens the phone. She knows all my password. I know all hers. And that is it. It builds a level of trust. Now, before someone said you do something, it has to be a questionable something. Do you understand? The openness of the marriage relies on all those things you just mentioned, because we communicate with our phones, we chat people with our phones. How can you make your wife feel at ease at all the time? You should let her have access to those things. How can she make you feel at ease as the husband? It's for her to give you those assets so that both of you can have that level of trust for each other. That's my opinion. That's my view.
But even in a marriage where the spouse is determined to cheat or live a particular lifestyle, I don't think the hiding of password will stop anybody.
Just stop it.
But I feel that having to know your partner's password will help more than it will damage in the marriage. There are situations whereby your partner might not be able to get his phone.
Access their phone.
You are the one to and in the case of emergency where somebody might be sick or you're the one to get access to it. So when they say call his wife, call her husband, and they come around, that's the game changer. They know that thing and they pull it out, and it might be a game. It might save a situation. So
At that moment.
I think it helps more than you can even say it's damages. But anyone that is determined to cheat can use many apps
Factors
to lock
away.
up some whatever email and all that. So people go extra mile to cheat. So basically, I feel partners hide their phones because of this cheating thing, but it's not even
It's not the deal breaker.
It can't even save you. If that is their goal, they'll just find a way around it to be plain to you and still be hidden.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay to let your partner see what's going on. And I don't think there's need. I don't even snoop around my husband's phone, no matter what. I know the password I have, it is my fingerprint, but I don't open it to go and look for anything there. Except maybe say, call this person, open this, help me do this transfer. And I know I'm doing it on request. But other than that, I can just go there, pick what I want, but not to snoop around because there's nothing you are really looking for. When people that want to cheat will find a way around it.
Definitely.
Definitely.
personally, we don't talk, as in we don't talk about a certain amount you have, whether you have this amount, but I have access to all her accounts. She has access to my account. That's just it. But they don't always say I have this particular balance in my account. No. If there is a need for me to ask her to do a transaction for me, I'm in the bedroom and taking my shower. Maybe my goods came in, I have to pay for the clearing, and they're calling me. I can comfortably tell my wife, open there, send money to the person. She does that. Same way with me. I can go to her phone if I want to do something, maybe access a particular fund in her account, I can open her account. But we don't normally put figures of how much this person have or how much that person have. But we are transparent about our finances to each other. It affects the marriage, but in a positive way. For me, like I told you in the beginning, that I'm a person that believes in everyone has to be doing something, no matter how little it is. That is why I told you that I didn't think about the financial aspect of it at first. But when we got married, what you have passion for will take you places. Do you understand? So for me, her being a photographer, videographer, she's into movies. It takes her out of the house, out of the state a lot of times. So that is where it affects the marriage. But for me, I see it in a very beautiful way. For her to elevate herself, grow in her career. So when she's stepping out, I have to step up in the home to take care of the home. We have our balance. So for me, her being a career woman is a beautiful thing for me. Most of the time, I jokingly, when I speak with my friends, we'll be laughing. They will say, "Hi, your wife is this, your wife is that." Yes, I want her to be successful, be rich. So at the end of the day, that she's the person I look at every day, I say, this is my retirement plan. So for me, it's a beautiful thing for me, seeing her growing her work, in her career. So when she goes to work, it affects the marriage. But when I look at it, I see it in a positive way. So that's just it. For me, is a, how will I say it? Let's say a few weeks ago, we created a WhatsApp group for my primary school set. One of us died. So we had the opportunity to, everybody started adding people. So in the context of our conversation, we started having this type of thoughts about abroad. Abroad is very beautiful. They have everything you can dream of. And I've been opportunity to travel to at least more than 10, 12 countries in the world. I can tell you how beautiful they are. But in terms of settling down, having kids abroad, it's not something I feel like I solely have to decide. It must be something I have to discuss with my wife. And in our own marriage, she has an ideology of the type of marriage she wants to have. She's not that person that genuinely wants to live abroad. We go abroad for vacation, we come back. Then she believes that we train our kids here is far more better for us. So whoever that say Nigeria is not good, the person is lying, because abroad is all about working, making money. There are moments I have with my wife. There are beautiful things we create that I know that if we are living abroad, we might not have a lot of time for ourselves. We have to work to meet up with the bills, to take care of the kids. But here, your business always gives you that leverage, that timing, that moment with your kids. So for me, in our marriage, we always see abroad as destination for holiday and not for where we are going to settle down with our kids. I just say.
Oh, what do you say about that?
I'm a Nigerian girl. I like a Nigerian girl. I've once had a boyfriend that mentioned abroad. I think I was 17 or 18, and he mentioned something abroad, and that's I had a turn off. I was not excited about it. I think that's when I found out that I don't really I have a whole level of ideology that might not sit well with people. I feel, especially with the recent migration to the UK, I feel it's like more like a modern slavery where you have to pay, to take yourself there to actually be the slave. And I understand the opportunities that lie there, but I see the work, the living pattern, the work, the lifestyle. I see what it does, and I have a family of 4 children with myself and my husband. We are a total of 6. We go there is going to be a hustle. So I don't really fancy abroad living there, but I think you can go there, come back. I think there are a lot of opportunities there, but I feel that Nigeria as a country has its
A lot of
potential as well.
Yeah.
And as much as the bad government is one of the major things that we are going through with the security crisis, I think it's still a place we can survive. And the risk of having your children in the right mindset, in the way you want them to grow up, is also a factor because the outside culture. When you are talking about kneeling down and proposing, there are a lot of outside culture that conflicts with what we know. These things might be okay
Casual.
for them in their own rights,
Casual, yeah.
but for us, the way we grew up, they are contradicting with our belief and our growing up. So these are not the things I want my children to be exposed to, and I feel that them being here is a whole lot better for everyone.
See, how will I put it? Finances are one of the major bedrock of marriage, depending on who is earning higher or who is earning lower. It's just the ability for you to strike a balance. There are things my wife takes care of. We don't quantify it by percentage. No, it's about we are two mature adults. We are making money. She has her own money. I have my own money. There are things she receives in the house, and she feels that she wants to take care of them. She does that. There are actual aspects of the family that I know that I have to take care of. I didn't need her to remind me about that. So in our own case, both of us handle things in the house. There is no like this person has to bring this particular quota or this person has to be the one to do this one. No. We strike a balance. We fix things in our own way. Do you understand? So that's it for our own. We don't do 50-50. We don't do 70-30.
And I think the 50-50 is workable for people that have a fixed
Fixed amount of money they
they
make
earn.
in a
So
month.
if you're a civil servant and your wife is also a civil servant,
If you are making
you can
1,500,000,
say,
you can
okay,
work on the
every
500
month let's bring out this for the
for the
betterment,
betterment
of
of
the
the
family.
family.
But me and my husband, we are business people, so
We don't quantify the money we spend.
we can come this month and you are making let's say 2 million, and this month I'm making 500,000. We can't.
We can't wake up and
We can't
say
make it
50-50. Yeah, it doesn't-
but again, there are days that the month is very good for you and your business.
you do
and
things.
You make more.
You do things.
And again, I think one of the things that help for marriages is to have set goals. What are you working towards? What is the set goal? So you say we have to get this and we have to get this, and you're working towards it. I think having in mind that if we say we have a project of 10 million and my husband has 10 million now, he will not ask me for anything. He just
will I
bring the 10 million
I'll
back
fix
and
my
he'll do
I'll
it.
do it.
And that's what husbands do. So having that in mind, what will now stop me to
Bring
do
out
it
your
if
own.
I'm the first
If
person
you are the
that
one that
makes
made
it?
the 10 million.
Yeah, I think it's selfish. It's selfish of me to have it and not, because you see the level of effort the men or the burden the men carry in marriages, especially when they are dedicated ones. I understand the diversity and the difference between people and their marriages and their spouse, who might be not
Shady
very
about
clean
their
about.
finances.
Yeah, but if you see
they are
someone that is
transparent.
dedicated to
Are
grow,
transparent about
that
it.
has always over and over given their all and giving their 100%, I think is quite enough boost for you to say, okay, for the first time or for the second time, I can handle this
Let
on
me
my
fix
own.
this
Let
one.
me do this.
Let me do this
I
one.
think it's not. I know for sure that interference, whether we can't really term them in-laws, interference from family, friends, can be a problem because, especially for people that are very gullible. I use people that are very gullible because they are people that can easily sway their mind or their thoughts. But when you are somebody that is not easily moved, you can find a way to balance it. There is no way an interference will not, shift, the foundation of a marriage, because these people have these different ideologies. So I know for a fact, my husband is not one that likes to drive all the time. So it's not like somebody that enjoys driving like that. So I do drive most of the time. There are other things my husband likes to do as well, and I don't enjoy to do them. So we find a balance. No matter how you see us and you feel like
This
this,
person is
this
right.
is not right,
This is not right.
this is supposed to be like
Yeah,
this.
no,
But we find a balance around it, and we are surviving around it, and we understand that
it's
okay,
working for
this
us.
person doesn't like to do this, so I have to step up for you here. This person doesn't like to do this, I have to. But an outsider wouldn't understand that. And for instance, just like you're saying, in-laws, they might not understand why their brother is not driving all the time. And do you understand what I mean? And especially when you have maybe one or two cars, and you know that this person is always the one driving
the
and all
cars.
that. So it might be an issue, but they might not understand really. No matter how you try to explain it, there are other things that my mom might also see in marriage and feel like, this is not the way it's supposed to be. But we understand that this is what works for us. And as far as it is working, I think that's the most important thing. When you know that however you arrange it, it works for you, and it's there's no problem there. So, but if you leave people to come in and make decisions for you and make suggestions to you, why is this like this? Why is this not working like that? It becomes a problem. It becomes a big problem. So that's basically it. I feel the interference of outsiders will shake the marriage, but it's left for the people in the marriage to decide what they want the marriage.
Uh, we started. We started by having our time. We normally leave the kids. If we don't travel outside, maybe we travel within states. Create time for us. Create moments. Step away from the kids. Step away from the world. Just two of us. So we create more time for us. We have our moments, our things we do for ourselves to make the marriage spicy, or maybe put life to it all the time. My wife is the type of person that little gestures bring out a lot of happiness in her, like even strolling, going out. So we are more of outdoor people. So we spend time outside alone or with friends. Just leave the world of the kids, things that are bothering you. Just have moments for both of you. So that's how we have been doing it. And then we in a particular type of the year, we normally do our wedding anniversary on the 4th of November. We travel, go somewhere, spend time, rekindle our love for the next year. We do it again and again and again. So it's been 8 years now. So that's it. We have forever to go. So that's it, yeah. I haven't, and I pray I will not. Everything has been. We find a balance. It's like a balance. So that's what I'm saying. Where I see here, this question you just asked is very important to be out there, because life of a man, life of a human being on earth goes by spiral. It goes up, it goes down. That is why when your wife is working, making money, or you have some certain investment or aspect, when you hit a roadblock in your life, your wife is there to cover you. You have things that will bring you up immediately. So no one will see or no one will feel. The outsiders might not know exactly what is going on. That is the beauty of marriage. So far, no. And it's not going to happen to us. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
I sacrifice my beautiful life abroad.
Yeah.
I sacrifice my humble abode.
He sacrificed his singlehood. Being a single person can be
my flexing life abroad. I left everything behind to come back to Nigeria. So it was a huge sacrifice, but for me, it's what it is.
I think if I look at it now, I say I kind of tuned down my quest for my career, because originally I didn't plan, as much as I didn't want to travel out of Nigeria. I didn't plan to be in Anambra, and I just wanted to be all over the place there. there was a lot of things to learn. There were a lot of places to go to. There are a lot of things to, add. But I think, I took a step back to, get the family
Raise the
started.
kids, take care of the kids.
Give it to my beautiful children, raise them to an extent before I continue. Because I don't really ever
Definitely,
give up.
definitely, definitely.
I would say it affected my career, but I wouldn't say, I think it's by choice. I had my opportunities to do other things. As much as we say we can, I want to travel and go and do this, there's no guarantee that thing is going
Work.
to, work out exactly that way. Just like life is not certain.
Predictable.
So you just leave it by the day. So I think along the line, I made my own plans, not involving family in that arrangement. But when family came along, I had to adjust to accommodate it. I think the beauty of life is your ability to like combine these two things and still have this and have that. Because you see people like Omoni Oboli, who is also in my field. She took her time for her family,
Raise
and
her
now the
kids.
family they are doing
They are
okay.
balanced. Now
And
you-
she's now a
flying.
renowned filmmaker. So there's nothing, if you're passionate about what you're doing, if you're dedicated to what you're doing, it's just time
Time.
that you need to give it. But you know that if Omoni did not get married when she did, she would have been a pronounced filmmaker, but she might not have the beautiful family she
family.
has. So there's always a compromise for everything: money, family, everything. And I also feel that it's not a gender thing.
Yeah, and that's
The
it.
marriage might also have affected him too.
Yeah,
He would have,
I left Obodo Oyibo to come back to there.
he
What
would
are
have
you
loved to
telling
be
me?
flying everywhere.
I
You
fly
understand?
everywhere. I travel to anywhere I want.
I used to say that bringing these children into the world is not a small task. If you don't
come on.
want kids, it's okay to stay off and say, okay, we don't want kids. But once you bring them, there are responsibilities.
You have to take
and there are a
care of
lot of
them.
things you need to do for
You
them
give up. You give up a lot
until they
get
are
to a
able
certain
to do
stage.
it for
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah.
Then you can take your own time. So that is it.
My advice to them is to go and look for money. Oh. Because one illusion people will say that money is not everything. Brother, money is everything. Everything is money. That the kids are happy is money. That your wife is happy is money. Yeah, no, that they say that you have to have other basic of things. But bro, you hustle, double your hustle. Because marriage is not a child's play. It's not a child's play. So that's my advice for them. Hustle. Double your hustle. Yes, yes.
I don't believe money is everything, but I think money is very.
Money is everything.
I don't believe.
Let me ask you. You have married a broke guy.
I was talking about it this morning. No, I wouldn't. To be
honest.
to be point blank about it, I wouldn't have married a broke guy. But I have my reason, because I was never a broke girl. Do you get the point?
Why can't you be not the broke girl, not the broke guy, and help the guy to be somebody?
No. It's not even my ideology. I told you, it's not about a guy helping a girl or a girl helping a guy. If you're rich, marry the rich. If you're poor, marry the poor. That's how only happiness will be achieved. So a poor guy understands that Gary is what they will drink morning, afternoon, and night. A poor girl understands that too. So they drink it together in that level. But what I'm saying in essence is that I'm not a broke girl. I was never a broke girl. So you don't expect me to marry a broke girl. Do you get what I mean? What I'm saying is I work hard. So I want to see whoever I want to settle down with. I want to see the level of your commitment, your hard work too. So the reason why I'm working hard is because I'm not coming from plenty. So I'm working hard to make something for myself, not to go back to that. So I can't come up, marry and go back.
Somebody will drag you back to Umuji.
I'm coming out. Is that what you have? So the idea is to marry somebody that is equally invested in making it,
Making the money.
as much as you are invested in
So,
making
John, tell them to look for money. Marriage is money.
it.
Brother, marriage is money. Whoever that is telling you that is not money is a liar. Have they asked you to take them to Stanel? Daddy, you're taking us to Stanel today.
Pampers.
And then go queue in the morning and say Pampers are finished. Yeah, you told motivational speaker for Pampers to come out. It's money.
Money is not everything, but I think you should have a bit of that. Make arrangement for that. But if you must get married and you don't have so much, you can decide not to. Start building a family.
So much
you can decide not to have bring the children forth,
immediately
because they can't drink Gary three times.
No.
It won't work.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
God bless you.
Bless you too. I'm going to marry. My name is Okoye Chukwuebuka, and this is my wife, Mrs. Cynthia Okoye. Please keep watching Adult Gist.